And we are back. The 48-hour film challenge in the Bronx was an intense weekend for 6 filmmaking teams to write, cast, shoot, score, edit, export a short film just within 48 hours. Well, those films are now set to screen at the Bronx Documentary Center on June 29th. And here to tell us more about the challenge and upcoming screenings are filmmakers and co-founders of the 48-hour film challenge, Gregory Hernandez and Edwin Torres. Good to have you both.
Thank you for having us.
Welcome back again.
Thank you.
So walk us through this. It was a very exciting 48 hours, huh?
Yeah. So it's basically a great opportunity for Bronx filmmakers, if they haven't made a film yet, to make a film in 48 hours. It's great technical practice because you're not putting so much emphasis on, oh, this film needs to be an award-winning film. It's more about the practice of motion pictures. So you're not going to be spending so much time writing the script. You're going to focus on more about filming and getting great composition and just the technical practice. So you can literally say, after the weekend is over, I made a film in 48 hours. You can actually put that on your resume as well. So.
Wow. Pretty interesting. Yeah. Talk about the concept. How'd you design that?
Basically, like the way there's like kind of a national competition as well. So we kind of, kind of took inspiration from that. And basically, we had like kind of a rule set. We were basically there had to be a line and a prop and a featured name and a place in the Bronx for this competition.
Awesome.
So they had to. We kind of had during the kickoff. We had a little thing in a hat. So we had a bunch of street names in a hat, and we kind of shook them up. And we had them come up, each team, and just pick one out of the hat, and that would be the street that they'd have to film on.
So they got 48 hours to go ahead and do what they have to do, and then they go from there. What was the excitement like for these people to have 48 hours to be able to do it? Was it a sense of excitement? Was it a sense of nervousness? How'd it go?
It's all mixed up in one soup, stress, excitement, anxiety, but it's also that competition. You're competing against other filmmakers. We look at this as an exciting experimental networking event. So just the sheer excitement and reaction for people to get their genres, like, oh, I got drama, I got silent film, great, I don't have a microphone, this works perfectly. Getting, a landmark like, oh, Bainbridge or Tremont or Alexander Avenue, for instance, okay, great, I've been there, or, oh, I've never been there. It's just those level of excitement, like picking out that lottery and not knowing what you're going to get, because you're not knowing what film what you're going to make until the day of. So it's pure excitement.
And then you get a chance to pick out a spot, right? Each person picks out a spot. So talk about the spots that you selected.
Well, they picked out. So I think some people had like I think one of them was like Tremont, and then the other was like Alexander Avenue. So like different places in the Bronx that were like significant, kind of that are recognizable on the screen. So they just had to feature a part of that street onto the film so that we know that they filmed it in the Bronx.
Right. Well, we also had a fun time picking out the streets. Like a couple weeks before, we were like, which avenues do we want to pick out? And it was just three of us. We have another founder, Ayatis Perez, who designed the poster. She couldn't make it today, but just the three of us, picking out avenues like Bainbridge, throwing out things. And that was the excitement of it. It was like, this is going to be great because we don't know what's going to be picked out. So fun.
Yeah. And so the screening takes place coming up, and talk to us about that.
Yeah, so it'll take place Saturday, June 29th at the Bronx Documentary Center, which is where we had the kickoff. We had it at their annex buildings, so now it'll take place at the gallery space. So going forward, that's something that we want. We're going to be applying for fiscal sponsorship. We want the partnership of Bronx Documentary Center and the Bronx Filmmakers Collective and so on and so forth, many other institutions and organizations in the Bronx, because we want to make this bigger and better. We ultimately want more filmmakers. We want the numbers to increase, and we also ultimately want to make it a biannual challenge as well, so in the spring and the fall.
And when you talk about getting filmmakers to the table, how hard was it to get the filmmakers to the table with this one?
A lot of social network outreach. So we had to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We just had to we just reached out and especially with the poster and the flyer, we just basically just spreading the word of hey, you get to make a film in 48 hours. If you're a filmmaker, come out. And it was really just trying to figure out what kind of filmmaking network is in our borough, because I've lived here for a long time and wanted to meet other filmmakers as well. So meeting him, I know he's not the only one. So just reaching out to different schools, different colleges, different places where filmmakers could be, and just telling them to come on over to our kickoff event and get started.
And I think you talked about a little bit, in the beginning, it's an idea to get exposure, right? And then for a person that's really just getting going, just to get your feet wet.
Yeah, I just have a quick addendum to that. We, just talking earlier with the other people on, voting, poverty, there are a lot of things that are going on in this borough, and I think it's important and incumbent upon us as visual storytellers to highlight what's going on. So imagine, Bronx filmmakers, they take this challenge like, oh wow, I made a film in 48 hours. Then after this, it's like, I want to do a film about, asthma in the South Bronx, poverty in the Bronx, voting, gentrification, housing, and so on and so forth. So those are things that are important. So I think it's really essential in terms of meeting other filmmakers. Our third founder actually lives within blocks of Edwin, and they never even knew they lived in the same neighborhood all these years. So it's really great for us to meet people and also just increase the number of filmmakers and really impart upon them, hey, we also have a responsibility. So honing those technical skills to really provide an outlet to stories that are important in our book.
So June 29th will be the screening.
Yeah, we're gonna have a trailer dropping later today on our social media outlets about that, just kind of highlighting the different movies to be seen.
Yeah.
So it'll be great.
And so we got the names of them actually out here. 1 of 14 is a drama, smoke, solid film, Nighthawk, action adventure, In and Out, suspense thriller, and we got Cabin Fever, it's a comedy, and Not an Imaginary Friend, fantasy. So they get to pick their own titles, of course.
Yeah, and their own team names.
But you picked the but you also had genre and also.
Oh yeah, they had to pick that out of a hat as well.
Oh, so
Yeah.
okay, so you
we
pick
also
genre
had
too.
we had two hats, so they also picked that one out of a hat. So they picked the street and they picked the genre.
Oh man, he made people have to work.
I know,
Oh,
just
yeah.
the tenets of it that go together: the genre, the prop, the line, the character, and the landmark. So those 5 things go into making the
Yeah,
film.
we had to feature like I think one of the props was like a chopped cheese.
Chopped cheese, yeah.
Like a very, we wanted to keep it like a Bronx theme, and then the line was, do they have that in the Bronx?
Oh, yeah,
So
they
had to
have that in
feature
the Bronx?
Right.
Yeah, so they have to feature that in all the films.
Wow.
So
Well,
we know
thank y'all
that's
for
part of
keeping
the
it
challenge.
Bronx. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much, Gregory. Thank you so much. I want to let you know the Bronx 48-hour short film festival screening once again. If you didn't hear it, it's happening Saturday, June 29th from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Bronx Documentary Center located at 614 Cortlandt Avenue. Now, if you want more information, you can visit their Instagram at BronxFilm48 and Facebook at the BXFilm48. Now, unfortunately, we've come to the end of our show today. I want to thank all of our guests for joining us, most of all you, the viewer, for tuning in. Now, if you missed any part of today's show, you can catch the Recablecast at 5 and 10 p.m. on Optimum's Channel 67, Verizon Fios Channel 33, or watch us anytime on the web at broadsted.org. Also give a special shout out to those who are watching on Manhattan Neighborhood Network. I know my sister Ann, family, and the rest of you who are watching in Manhattan. Thanks for watching. That about wraps it up for us here on this show and the set of Open. I'm Darren Jaime. Hope you keep this channel wide open. Take care. God bless, and we'll talk to you soon.